Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? So good to be here. That's some good coffee. I am so pleased to be here with you all yet again. Welcome to Coffee Time Career Chat. And if you are joining for the very first time, my name is Patricia Hayes. I am an executive advisor, career empowerment coach, and authentic networking strategist. That means I love helping people, especially women, who are in the midst of their career or business transitions. And they need some support, because sometimes we got to beef up our self advocacy and empowerment muscle. And when we do that, it also normally means we need to strengthen our professional relationships so that we can achieve the goals that we want to at the next level and to do so authentically with purpose and honoring our personal values. So, that said, hello. And it is May. Can y'all believe it's May? I cannot believe it's May. So here we go. It is May and it is time to get things moving. Here's the thing. It is Small Business Week nationally. So we are going to acknowledge that today. And I want you to keep your eye out for a little mini series, probably reels and a few networking tips, 2-minute tips that I'll put out during the course of this week. So if you have a small business, want a small business, and you want to talk or get more information about how building out your professional relationships and your network can help you to achieve that, I highly recommend that you keep an eye out for this series this week, as well as just hit me up in the DMs and in the messages along the week. I have spent lots of time speaking with small business owners about this issue, as well as folks who support small business owners. So that's one of the trainings that I've been doing for a few years now, and it was just always amazing to see its impact when I did so that'll be my contribution this week. That said, what we're going to focus on here today is I'm keeping it down to 3 networking myths that are negatively impacting your business and or your career. Because they come up in both realms. Okay, so if you don't have a business, don't say, "Oh, well, this doesn't apply to me." It probably does. So just hold on. Here's the thing: there are lots of things, and that's why I want you to check out the series that'll be coming along this week. But I'm just going to limit it to these top 3. I may shift it at some point in time. It could be another top 3, but these are probably the top 3 networking myths that I hear from people all the time. And I want to debunk them here and or tell you why you're wrong, okay? And how you are really undercutting yourself in your career transition, in your business development by allowing these things to overtake your mindset. So before we even get into those, here's the thing. It is absolutely about your mindset. Bottom line, okay? If you have a negative mindset, you are going to approach your networking in a very different way than someone who believes in what they're doing, right? So if you think that networking is a waste of time, you don't have time to do this, it takes too long, then yeah, your results are going to reflect that because you're putting out into the world what you believe and you're going to get it back. And I want to help you to not do that and to instead take on a more positive approach, a more empowered approach to help you actually achieve your goals and focus on them by building out your relationships in a way that's strong and effective for you. So networking myth number 1, I don't have time. This is the most common one. I do not have time to do this. It's just crazy. My schedule is too busy. I have too many things going on. Well, if you're following any of the people I follow, from folks like in my mastermind and some of the other professional women, small business owners that I follow, we're really pushing back against that concept of busyness and instead talking about being effective in what you're doing and focus on what you're doing. Because you can be busy with a lot of activities that take you nowhere. And this is why people are like, I don't have time to network because I have to go run around doing these other things. And in reality, if you took 5 to 15 minutes a day, all right, if you're a business owner, this is a minimum amount of time that you should spend developing your professional relationships per day, minimally. Okay. And 5 minutes is literally sending a text message or shooting off an email to someone to say, hey, great talking to you the other day. Hey, can we grab some coffee? Right? Much less something a little more extensive. And here's the reason why those things pay off way more than all these things you're being busy in. You're planting seeds. You're planting seeds. And whether you are a brand new business or one that's more established, you're always planting seeds. And here's the thing, because as things grow, as those relationships grow, you do not know when you will be dipping back in to pinch off a little piece. You know how you have your herbs? You don't have to tear up the whole plant, right? That's not the goal. You want to pinch off a piece, season your foods with it, right? Y'all know I cook, right? Yeah. That said, it's absolutely the same thing with your relationships. You definitely want to be able to nurture and grow these relationships so that you can give to them, absolutely, but you can also receive. But you have to have been growing it in order to have something to receive from. Okay. So I don't have time is not a good excuse. It is a myth. We spend, I don't know how much time on social media every day, many of us, not all of us. We spend time, decompressing from our day. We spend time, grabbing the groceries, sitting in line somewhere. We're always sitting in line somewhere, right? Here's the thing, 5 minutes while you're doing any of those things can be so fruitful and tremendous to your growth, both personally and professionally. All right. And that's what I would encourage you to do. And if you follow any of my other things, check out my 30-day networking challenge. You can see all of those different tips about more specific about how to manage that time and how to get started in that. But I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying, or really you're like, oh, you can't get anything done in 5 minutes. Yeah, you can. I don't know how many times that I have had to go show up 30 minutes early to pick up my son from something because I don't want to be sitting in the traffic. So I have to go sit early, and nothing drives me more crazy than to be sitting and waiting for something to happen that I have no control over. I'm totally at their behest, right? So, what do I always do? I'm always packing my calendar with me. There's a notebook with me, and I have my phone or my iPad. And while I'm sitting there, yes, are there uh, some other types of work that I can get done, like some marketing or whatever? Yes. But one of the things I am probably going to do is I am probably going to be following up with someone in some way during that wait time. And once you start training yourself to do that, it just becomes second nature. And it's not a matter of filling your time, right? Because remember, we're not talking about being busy. We're talking about being impactful and being deliberate about with our time and with what we're doing. And so if you take 5, 10, 15 minutes while you're waiting in the car for a delivery, to pick up a kid, whatever, that is something that is very specific and very impactful to what it is you are trying to do. Build your business, grow your relationships, prepare yourself for a transition. Connecting with people are going to help you. Those people are going to help you in the future with your efforts. Okay. And we're going to talk about, because there are two other things embedded in that, which is what we're going to talk about next. Okay. So here is the second thing. The second thing is, after you say, I don't have time, the second thing is, people always say networking is a waste of time. Well, if you're doing it wrong, yeah, it is. So I will agree with you with that caveat if you're doing it wrong. If you're doing it right, it's not. Because if you're going to events or if you're reaching out only to see what you can get from someone, if you're going out to these things with only the mindset of I need something and I need to see what I can get from somebody, then yeah, you're going to have a problem, because that's the wrong mindset. It is a take mindset, it's a scarcity mindset. And instead, you need to go with one of abundance of what can I give to someone, knowing and expecting something in return. Will it happen that same night? Maybe, maybe not. But remember what I said about planting seeds. Okay. So it is not a waste of time. What is a waste of time is when you are focused on the wrong thing, you utilize the wrong approach, and you have unrealistic expectations. Those three things will undercut you every time. Okay? So the thing, remember we started off talking about mindset and adjusting it. This is absolutely one of those places where you really need to delve in. Because saying something is a waste means you don't value it. And here's the thing, if you don't value your network, you are losing out on one of the greatest resources that you don't have to pay for, that you have access to at a moment's notice. Did you hear that? Especially you business folks. Your network is a resource that you don't have to pay for, but that you can access at a moment's notice if you need it to support you in your business. So if you think it's a waste of time, you keep thinking that. You're undervaluing it. You're going to be really hurting one day when you realize you need to tap into it and you can't, because you didn't support it, you didn't nurture it, and you had a negative mindset about it to begin with. Networking as an activity, I understand people being upset about it. I was like, I don't like doing that. It's a waste of time. Sure, I can. Again, because your approach is wrong. Your mindset is wrong about it. But if you enter to activities, if you enter into scheduling regular chats with people, into just following up with folks, you are making an investment. You're making an investment in them. You're making an investment in yourself. So it's going to be really, really important to make sure to follow up and to engage in a way that brings value, that nurtures what you're trying to develop. Okay? The last thing, number 3, is it takes too long to be worth it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about patience. And let me tell you, I am not the most patient person. So don't get me wrong, right? I am very impatient. I know this. It is something that I've worked on my entire career, my life, right? It is a journey. But here's the thing, if you really want to have something to, it's what is that thing about the best things are worth it? And if you nurture it and you put in the time, you will be amazed at how things will come about and how it will be so much better for you. Okay? So don't continue to put those things down. It's like, oh, it's too long, it's taken too long. You don't say that when 3-6 months down the road, all of a sudden that loan comes through because of a relationship that you had with someone who helped you to get it, who helped give you the directions and give you the referrals to get it. So don't let the what's the word? Don't let an emergency situation take away from the depth of time and building in so that you don't have to have emergencies, right? When it comes to tapping into your relationships. Urgency and emergency are not the same thing. And so, what is that saying about is a lack of planning on your part does not make creating emergency on mine? This is where people fall down in this part. They don't plan to an effective to have a strong, effective network. So later on, when they need someone or something from it, now all of a sudden it's an emergency. Do your homework, plant your seeds, do the work, and it won't be such an emergency or such a problem later when you need to tap into it. All right. All right. Those are the three things. And we're going to keep it short because, like I said, I'm doing a series this week. So I want you to keep an eye out for it. And we will continue this conversation. So you can check it out on all of the socials. I'll be putting it out on the Facebook business page, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram, of course. So follow up with that. If you have any questions, more specific, please check in. I would love, love, love to hear from you. Okay. Take care, and I will talk with you again soon. Bye bye.